if you are alone, you can hire somebody. You want a brother, he can, per hourly basis, he can be your brother. You want a father, he can be hourly basis father. I was like, really? And they said, we don't want to get married because we are not sure if we can carry the burden and the aspiration of our lifestyle. We cannot manage that, maintain that.
The female can decide to pass on the gene all by herself without a need of a male. That's what the technology has brought you today.
Yeah.
And the male cannot do that. Even whatever happens, the male cannot pass on a gene without the help of a female.
Yes.
But this is where we are standing right now, where it is slowly coming in like a virus that people are not getting ready to marry. They don't want to cascade their gene to the next level. Meaning they don't want to create the next, or the female is not ready to take the male is not ready to take the female. There's a whole bunch of things that's happening.
Yeah. In India, Rakhe Hari Mare Ke, Mare Hari Rakhe Ke. If God wants you to live, no one will kill you. If God wants you gone, you're gone.
Gone, that's it.
No one can save you. So, having said that, it's very sad that these things, have reached this level and they are not. This should have finished, And now the Red Sea issue. India was always a superpower. India remains a superpower. It depends how you define it, how you look at it. Coming to logistics, it's a paradoxical situation also. Whereas, we are the country who are celebrating Zomatos and Swiggies and all, the startups and all are there, and they're doing fantastic e-commerce.
I have another other perspective towards it.
Yeah, but whether it's working out or burning money is another thing. But idea-wise, okay, we have gone to that micro level. On the other side, we are operating PSLV Mark III, which is carrying 150 satellites in one go. Oh, see, the idea of AI sounds good. There's a lot of fear mongering and all. And AI will do a lot of things. It will disrupt, right? It will disrupt. But disruption can be controlled, can be channeled, can be mobilized. Disruption need not always be seen as a negative element only, right? We are saying that AI will, take away the jobs and all. In our field, we need AI.
Right.
We need help.
Correct. We need this.
It can never replace us. AI cannot do the decision making for you.
Welcome to PortCast with Sai. This podcast is all about shipping, logistics, and how the industry works. I am Sai, and I am here to share insights and stories from the world of shipping.
But this is also creating a lot of psychological pressure on people.
Yes.
A lot of people are getting into the new word called depression.
Yes. Yeah.
Why? Because they're all alone.
Yeah.
They're trying to fancy the West and try to live that lifestyle here, which will not work. You'll have to live like Indians.
Yes.
You'll have to live like people.
I recollect when I was in Japan, during sailing the 20 years back also, they used to say, you guys are very good. People appreciate our way of life. And they said, okay, here now you get, if you are alone, you can hire somebody. You want a brother, he can, per hourly basis, he can be your brother. You want a father, he can be hourly basis father. I was like, really? And they said, we don't want to get married because we are not sure if we can carry the burden and the aspiration of our lifestyle. We cannot manage that, maintain that.
That's the biggest problem right now. So even in South Korea, this is happening. Even in, of course, in Japan, it had started 2 decades ago. In South Korea, this is happening recently. That, see, what will happen when you try not to cascade your gene to the next level, which means you're muted. You are just stopping there. You're killing yourself. Basically, when you copulate, you're going to create a new species of your same gene, right? That is not happening anymore. The female can decide to pass on the gene all by herself without a need of a male. That's what the technology has brought you today. Yeah. And the male cannot do that. Even whatever happens, the male cannot pass on a gene without the help of a female, right? But this is where we are standing right now, where it is slowly coming in like a virus that people are not getting ready to marry. They don't want to cascade their gene to the next level. Meaning they don't want to create the next, or the female is not ready to take the male is not ready to take the female. There's a whole bunch of things that's happening.
Yeah.
Female today, they say they're much happy to live with there is a question that there's a survey that had been asked. Will you be feeling safe with a bear in the forest or a man in the forest? Most of them have selected bear in the forest.
Where have we reached?
So which means they have some social stigma has been kicked in. People are not perceiving it in the right sense. That's there's a huge imbalance.
Yeah.
When 2 decades ago, when there were lots of support for the feminism, and I mean, I'm not against feminism. I love it. I love the female gender. They have their own powers to execute. But imagine a female has the authority to decide if she can pass on the gene all by herself. Male does not have an authority. Male does not have an authority. No matter whatever it is, even if you say the king of the world, if the female thinks you can pass on the gene, that's where we are. And people not realizing this, they are telling they can live all alone.
Yeah.
They will be
Strange, that's
yes.
very.
I'm it's somewhere saddens me when things in the West are influencing here a lot.
So-
from where we started, where we ended.
This is the flow.
Right.
The American
Yes.
tariffs you're talking about.
So I would want to ask you more about overall. Have you ever seen a war happening when you were sailing, and was it?
Oh yes.
Have
Yeah,
you been
see,
impacted?
War? War.
Like I will want to cite out few examples, especially this Red Sea crisis that was happening, where the tribes were shooting straight onto the ships of US or
Yeah.
right. You know what all happened,
yes,
what all
yes.
kind of
Okay.
damages happened. Yeah.
See, the earlier wars and all, when we used to go to Rastanura, used to be our home port. Regularly we used to go to Rastanura to load. Occasionally we used to go to Kuwait and all. During that Iran-Iraq war, what has happened? They have put a lot of seabed mines, underwater mines.
Oh.
So, and the process of removing and de-mining is on. That time also it was on, and they had put a lot of. And the American vessels were there, the mine sweepers and all were there picking out and all. It's a long process, not easy, right? Even if one is left, when the vessel will come, it will explode and the vessel will die. So, and we as merchant shipping people, we enjoy the immunity of the world. It is the right of innocent passage is enshrined in the United Nations Clause of Sea. And clause clearly states that right of innocent passage is there. It can be war anywhere on earth, but a merchant vessel is allowed right of innocent passage. Innocent passage means I'll not your side or his side. I'm not carrying any weapons or anything for you all, but I'm carrying my trade and I'm moving on. That is enshrined in the laws itself. And this has been there for ages.
Wow.
Merchant ships were not attacked ever. Never. It is sad to see that some people are finding it fun and a way to penalize somebody for some reason. Even if you want to penalize the owner, the person on the vessel is not the owner, he's a worker. He's a people like you and me over there. A lot of people died recently on the Eternity Sea. It was very sad. So, and those days also we used to worry because we are carrying oil tanker and God forbid if, some mine is left or it has been, because underwater currents are there. Something is uprooted and it flows to some other area. It can happen. There's a remote possibility, but it can happen. So we used to worry about that. And I have been to Basra in Iraq. And I met those people. I've talked to them and all. Iraq was super rich area. Iraqis would never take gift from you. Iraqis would give gift to you.
Right.
I used to talk to the pilots, and I had seen the decay. Every consecutive time you can see the drop. They had free medical, free education, free everything. And they said, forget the oil. The greenery that we have, the Tigris and Euphrates that we have, the dates that we sell is enough for us. Forget about the oil. This was their approach, their way of life. And I also saw a day when an Iraqi pilot used to ask for, give me one soft drink. We used to offer him. He will not drink. He'll take it for his
Children.
Imagine what you did to that proud people. They are immense pride. They are very proud people. This is what happened. So the war and how it helped, I don't know. Till today that Iraq has not stabilized.
Right.
Show me one area where the war has yielded the results that you wanted.
Nowhere. See, it happens like this. First they create the war and then they say the reasons for the war. But war normally happens between two people, not between two nations. It's just the two people.
That's all. It's an ego between two people and the people are
And
paying the price.
they just create the stories around it. They just create the stories around it.
That's all.
And
when
people believe the stories.
Yes. Sadly enough, yes.
People believe the stories. They don't know why they are fighting,
Yeah.
but they just fight.
So, that was one episode in the beginning of my career. Then as a master, when I was transiting from this Somalia area, so we used to pick up these armed guards and all. And we used to pick it up from the Muscat and the Terry and they used to come with us for the voyage and they'll get. So, and every time that's huge. It was very expensive, super expensive is the word I'll use here. So now what used to happen that like on one voyage, these 3 guards came And I found that one of them did not have a leg and all. He was from, they were all ex-veterans of the Iraq war and all.
Oh.
Right. So informal discussion, and I asked them and all. Without a leg, also with one leg, he's able to climb up and do all that, do his drill and all. Well trained, very nice guys, And laughingly he told, to be honest, Captain, I don't know what I was doing then, but now I know I'm feeding family.
Okay.
So this is the short and long of it. I said, okay, fine. And they will do the shooting practice and all that. If the pirates will come, we will shoot and all that. I started smiling, I started smiling, Why are you smiling? You don't trust us? I trust you very much. But tell me, I'm on a 250 meter long vessel, 50 meters broad, 21 meters deep, and my cargo is aviation turbine fuel. And that guy, he has to close his eyes and take a shoot with a RPG. He does not even have to get it right anywhere. We cannot shoot. You also know, as per the law, you cannot shoot till you have enough reason to.
Right.
He has to take a pot shot anywhere. That's all.
Hand blast. That's it.
So you really think that that is a law? What do you mean that? Well, see, in India, Rakhe hari mare ke, mare hari rakhe ke. If God wants you to live, no one will kill you. If God wants you gone, you're gone.
Gone. That's it.
No one can save you. So having said that, it's very sad that these things, have reached this level and they are not. They should have finished. And now the Red Sea issue. The biggest irony of all things is the Houthi rebel. The Houthi is a Hassan Houthi is a person. That person stood up for a rightful
Cause.
Yes. Right? He stood up because he felt that it was being, they were, within the country, he was unhappy with the government. Every people have their own issues. So, okay, I'll not comment on that. But he stood for a cause that he thought right. But the fact that today they are attacking ships of innocent people, we have done nothing to them. As a seafarer, it pains. Instead of those Filipinos who got killed, it could have been me also.
Right.
It could have been me also. What harm have we done? Rather, all the aid as on today, all the aid to Yemen is being, brought in by vessels only from across the world. Sadly enough, what is even more saddening is the world seems to be, divided on this. Like, I will ensure safety of my vessel. So this is strange, because merchant vessels are not armed. They cannot protect themselves. Now each one says, I will take care of my flag vessels, my interests. We are entering into a very different era. That is very saddening and depressing. So that apart, I on that vessel only, when I was in Damascus, we were offloading, we were discharging diesel, HSD, we had gone for one trip. And beautiful smell, it was, the SBM was 1 mile from the shoreline. And you could get smell and fragrance of khabus, freshly baked bread and beautiful smell. I was like just feeling that, if there was some way that I could go there. Suddenly in the middle of the night, what happened? Then you're wondering, I asked the pilot on board. He said, don't worry, they are on the heights, they are playing games. What games? You don't know? The war is on. The war never ended. They're fighting. All. Just imagine the same place. We could hear, we could literally, because 1 mile from shore is nothing. Whenever the wind is blowing, it is bringing the voices also,
Yes.
You can feel people are alive and people are enjoying and people are having food and good food and all that. You want to be there. And suddenly, in the hills, and these guys say, okay, chill. This is okay. These guys are shooting. It's become a way of life.
That's hurting.
It's become a way of life.
Where do you see India in terms of executing its power in logistics?
India was always a superpower. India remains a superpower. It depends how you define it, how you look at it. Coming to logistics, it's a paradoxical situation also. Whereas, we are the country, we are celebrating Zomatos and Swiggies and all the startups and all are there and they're doing fantastic e-commerce and all. They're doing a good job.
I have another other perspective towards it.
Yeah, but whether it's working out or burning money is another thing. But idea-wise, okay, we have gone to that micro level. On the other side, we are operating PSLV Mark III, which is carrying 150 satellites in one go.
Correct.
So India is beyond anybody's definition. If me, you, or for that matter, all of us also were to jointly try to define India, it is beyond our collective imagination. Right. Coming to where we stand in terms of logistics, some people did some research and the number was that as on date, it stands at something like $850 billion worth of logistics business services is being generated in India, right? And the looking ahead, they say that for the next, by 2030, we should be the range of 1.2 billion, which is like a growth of 6.5% year on year.
That's
That's great.
That's great.
That's great.
Yeah, that's a great number.
So 6.5% year on year and 850 million to 1.2 billion. And this again, when it comes to India, this again is only the regular economy, regular business that you're talking of. We are yet to evaluate the parallel economy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, India for the next 15-20 years, whatever curve you draw, whatever parameters you take, the graph is going to be above 45 degrees only. It is not going to go in the negative zone and all. There is no, you don't need to be a mathematician, an economist and all. Nothing.
Right.
This is what I.
What's your take on artificial intelligence?
Oh, see, the idea of AI sounds good. There's a lot of fear mongering and all. And AI will do a lot of things. It'll disrupt. It will disrupt, right? It'll disrupt. But disruption can be controlled, can be channeled, can be mobilized. Disruption need not always be seen as a negative element only, right? We are saying that AI will, take away the jobs and all. In our field, we need AI.
Right.
We need help.
Correct. We need
It can never replace us. AI cannot do the decision making for you. AI cannot do the risk processing in you. AI at the best can run the scenario for you. They can run the risk parameters for you. They can give as per the parameters fed by you. Your parameters and my parameters need not be the same.
Right.
So when both of us are working on a joint venture, we are doing some movement or some cargo lift or some ODC shift, we will be doing real time, we'll be discussing and doing something.
Correct.
There is no way no AI can gauge what Sai is thinking and no AI can think what Capt is thinking. There cannot be an AI of that sort any day. What AI can do is they can make our lives easier and simpler. They can generate and run a lot of data for us.
Correct.
Statistics for us. That okay, if this was the if this was the wind, because a lot of parameters. Stevedoring for that matter, has lost big on this because we never maintained a data set. Every trip, every new cargo was one experience. And your experience remained with you.
Yeah. I
It
agree
never
that.
became a part of the team or a part of the legacy or a part of a bigger book which could have been handed over to somebody.
I think this podcast itself we started because we want to document all these things. Where right now we don't have a place where we can go and search for stevedoring.
Yeah.
We don't know what happens in logistics. People know the terminology logistics, but they don't know what happens in logistics. They don't know what a vessel agent is all about. They don't know what stevedoring is all about. They don't know what CH is all about. Nothing. They just know something they book in China, they get it in India. They don't know what happens in between.
And imagine the neglect of it. And
you're talking about something $850 billion logistics that's happening in India. And that
which is not yet accounted.
We are just talking about the accounted part of it. There is a lot happening unaccounted, which nobody can even imagine.
That is why whenever anybody does a forecast on Indian economy, it has to be taken only 50% because other half you don't know.
So,
coming back to this
AI.
training part, AI part, on the training aspect that you raised, very valid point. When I was in Visakhapatnam container terminal, there somebody asked that, they were running a training program.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first time I realized that there is no institute in India to train a operator. There is no stevedoring institute.
Correct.
There is no academy which teaches you how to rig, how to hook, how to unhook, what is SWL and all.
Right.
Mariners are taught from the vessel perspective.
Correct.
So they knew the game, but the thing should have been passed on. I want the last man standing should also understand the maths of it. At least what he is putting, what should be the SWL, how it matters.
The rigors are not, you're right.
And above all, it is all out of practice. It is all out of experience they have, which is super rich. But why don't we put it as a part of a curriculum? Why don't we design a course for them? Why don't we have a certification for that?
Somewhere I feel deep down that engineers should be a part of the stevedoring community because engineers have that calculation ability on how to calculate a load, how to lift a particular load, in which direction it has to be lifted, how the wind has to be calculated. A lot of calculation can still happen if an engineer is present in a stevedoring company.
That agreed. Even for the entry level people also, there should be a training program. It can be designed to know that the basics. He should not stand under the load.
But Captain, tell me something. You also know at what cost the stevedoring company runs in.
That's L1. I told you. L1 model is the killer of all innovation.
Correct.
For innovation, you need to have some, whatever earnings you do, a portion of it should be kept aside for innovation, a portion for training. That is how you will also move ahead.
So it's very simple. I would cite the example of our own vessel which we did recently. If not for the little bit of engineering that I had, I don't think we would have completed the vessel in so much time. Which on a normal way, if we could have done it, we would have gone for 4 shifts, which we are talking about minimum more than 24 hours, right? And just for that one hatch that we were talking about 130 plus packages, where every sling will be like maximum slings that can happen was 50 slings in a shift. So with all that, 2.5 shifts easily. What we did some application of brain, we did some innovation of thought, started doing in parallel, engaging more equipments. I think you need that kind of brains in this industry to make it more efficient.
And sad part is that trade has to learn the calculation fully.
Right.
1 day saved should be multiplied with the vessel's freight hire.
Yes. Not just a freight hire, the vessel berth hire.
Yeah. And you add up all that and then you realize what difference the stevedore has done.
Correct.
Because otherwise what happens, you think, okay, they brought this guy, okay, somehow they took it off. And no, that is not how it is impacting you.
Every single hour that's saved is a big saving for the liner.
Money saved is money earned.
Correct.
Quantum has to be seen. And the faster turnaround helps the vessel, helps the port. And as a country, we are having limited resources. We have to work on optimum utilization of resources.
Absolutely. And I think you put it right. We don't have an institute to teach all these things. We don't have a place where people can learn all these things. At least I will be an avenue to teach all these things through this. Let's see. This is
because it should be formalized, because then what happens now is, suppose even we are investing in training the people, but then because it does not have a formal certificate, next time when he goes somewhere else, no one is going to trust him. No, they'll say, "Hey, you're just saying like that." Whether you know or no, how do we know? But once he has a certificate, it becomes. And this was asked to me by a principal. He said, "You are putting these crane operators on my vessel. Are they certified? I want a certified." And I was struggling from where will I get a certified crane operator?
But is there an institute across the world?
The Europeans have it. The Americans have it.
Specifically for stevedoring?
Yeah, they have all this stevedoring and cargo handling and all, because this is a rewarding field, Unfortunately, what is happening, we are looking at it as a low. See, in Hong Kong and all, what they do, they get the college people to do the stevedoring and all.
College people?
College people. In Hong Kong, Anchorage, Lama Patch, you will see these youngsters will come with bags. They will do the handling of the containers and all at Anchorage, because only, above X moves, you are allowed to come inside. For smaller exchanges, you have to be out only. Full Anchorage is full. Hong Kong does so much of business. Anchorage is full. And that Anchorage, they will come with a barge crane. One guy will operate like zoom, he will be doing it. Other fellow will be jumping around, putting twist locks, tuck, college guys. But they also have some sort of small certificate, whether you are trained for that. The basics at least, so that you keep yourself safe and the other guys also safe. Because you are putting a lot of property, life, assets at risk, right? So some amount of basic training is there required, which should be certified and documented.
Where do you see the future of maritime industry?
Historically, whatever trade, business, your country's power in terms of geopolitics, maritime route is the route by which you establish all. India was a maritime superpower way back. It is time we regain our position in the world order. So it will take some time. It will not happen overnight. Yes, a concerted effort is needed from all of us. This is not the time when I have to compete with you and all. Let us collaborate. Let us work out solutions. Let us empower people, enable people, act as enabler. See, with if I it says, if I want to do charity, I should do a charity of enablement, so that he can feed himself every day.
Perfect.
But feeding you one day will not help. One day I can give you biryani, but doesn't help, right? If I can enable you to even have kanji rice every day, I would have done. Because then you are assured that you will never die of hunger.
That's powerful.
That is where we have to reach.
One thing I've strongly learnt is collaboration. I love collaborating, but I think it's re-emphasizing for me right now. So tell me something. Little bit imagination is required if you'd want to write a letter to your 19-year-old self just before joining the Maritime. Right now, with the current maturity, what would you write?
You're taking me back in time,
With the current maturity, you'll have to write to the old guy.
Okay. I would say that whatever people you are meeting and your relationships, preserve them. I made some lot of wonderful friends, a lot of girlfriends also on the way. I learned a lot of Spanish because of my girlfriend. I learned a bit of Arabic because of
I hope your wife does not watch this segment.
No, we are. So that was a time, and trust me, I could reasonably speak very good Spanish because I was doing Mexico and Chile run, and I was able to do my office interaction with work interaction and all I could do. And I learned a lot about their culture from them, their food, and made good friends. Right. Similarly, I was on a chemical vessel doing Morocco, India. We had a lot of friends over there. So, this is how I had friends in Portside, Egypt. I was, at one point of time, I was big fan of all the Arabic singers.
Oh, okay.
Nancy Ajram was my favorite. Walid Tawfiq was there, Bin Khalid was there. There are plenty of them.
Bin Khalid, okay.
Because once you do that route and all, you see the culture, you love the music, and you like the people and warm people. Everywhere, the normal person is just like you and me.
Exactly.
Absolutely no difference.
Yeah. Absolutely no difference.
Absolutely no difference.
Any country I travel, I don't see a huge difference between a person and person. They're exactly the same. Just that the culture has slightly varied them from what we are. End of the day, they're humans. They need the same basic requirements plus intellectual requirements. That's it.
Yes. So that relationship, if you can preserve it and keep it alive, that will be your strength.
So I have a few rapid fire questions to you.
Please.
Favorite port in the world?
Sydney. That was my first foreign port, and I went to see the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House. And can you believe it? If I tell you, you'll laugh your heads off. My salary was 1,340 rupees per month. It was my stipend, and I could not afford it. With that money, I hitchhiked from the vessel to the port gate.
Okay.
Port Kembla. From the port gate, somebody, the stevedore, he dropped me at Wollongong, told me you buy a railway ticket and you go, it's easy, don't worry about all that. He told me all the directions and all, bought a ticket over there, right? And they already had those automated ticket machines over there.
Back then.
I was looking for a ticket counter, I could not find. Then I asked a lady. Then she thought I was joking. Then I said, no, I'm not from here, so you need to tell me how. Just come. Because I saw everyone was doing and able to take it. I was like struggling, like what I'm supposed to do. Then I took her help, she told me. And I spent the trains were cheap. I bought the ticket and then I boarded the train. There were a lot of school children. So we had a discussion with them, how it's and all. They told me the train took me to Sydney Harbour and she had advised me where to get off. And unfortunately what happened, I was supposed to get off on this side of the Harbour Bridge. I went off on the other side. So when I came out, it was automated, the ticket. The alarm started ringing. Police called me. I told and he told, I know, don't worry. You just catch the other train and you get off over there. Here I can't allow you. It's a violation. You have made a mistake. It's fine. You just take the train back and go on the bridge. So I got a free ride on the bridge. Other part I got caught. And I came back. Then I went back over there and then I went to the Opera House area, and Opera House is amazingly beautiful. The Harbour Bridge, the view of the Opera House from the bridge and of the bridge from the Opera House, amazing.
There's one friend of mine, whenever I talk to him about vacations or places to visit, he talks in so much of fine detail that it makes me feel as if I had already traveled there and come back with my own imagination. And you made me feel exactly the same.
This part was I was very hungry and I could not afford a meal, right? So, and I went to a shop, a cake shop. I thought I'll take some pastry and all. And I'm a hardcore vegetarian. So then I realized the price. Then I told it's too expensive. Don't you think so? He said, okay, you should go to that shop. That's a supermarket. There you buy it. I bought the same stuff there. It was less than half. That is the difference. I realized that why? Like it is just hardly 100 yards away and the rate is like hell heaven. So I bought apples. They have green apples and all those fruits and all. I ate enough. Did the trip, came back and again went on work.
I know you're vegetarian, but I would like to ask you this. Best food that you've had on the ship?
Ship, every food is good food because you are so goddamn hungry. Yeah, I had one good chef from best part is now out at sea at the beginning of my career. Most of the chefs were from Goa. right? So all those, you know,
Goan chefs.
Yeah,
Goan
chefs
cuisine
would
is
be
like, yeah.
So one Goan fellow, he used to make, he was a Bhandari mate on Chhatrapati Shivaji. He was on oil tanker. He used to make very good parathas. You know, they had a separate. I used to love his. Then one fellow was there from Allahabad. Majority I got was from Allahabad. Near to Allahabad, there's a village called Phulpur. Majority of the cooks are from there, chefs, you know. So his name was Muhammad Hanif or something like that. So he was there. Forgetting his son sailed with me on another vessel. I was in master. His son was chief cook.
Chief cook. Okay.
So before joining itself, he told, sir, मुझे पता है आप क्या खाते हैं. हम लोग यार, I'm not so famous. Then not कि मेरे वालिद ने बताया. So his father had told him because before joining he knew Captain is Mishra. I've sailed with him and all. So their love is there, and you know the Indian concept of vegetarian is a very alien concept for the world. Because for us, vegetarian means it should not come in contact with any kind of non-veg. That has landed up in a lot of troubles for me, you know, because Filipinos and all, they wonder, vegetarian? What does that mean?
Is there something of that kind?
Yeah,
really?
yeah, what is it? And, you know, our said it should not get touched also. So he used to take care and he used to make wonderful malai paneer, malai kofta, variety of Mughlai dishes and all veg he'll make. And lastly, one Giri was there. He was from Kachila. He used to make variety of, everybody has his own expertise, you know. I used to love it. The only thing is that on a vessel, first 15 days from once you depart, you will get fresh vegetables and all. After 15 days, you should not go to the veg room and all. I'll be in a bad shape. But yeah, that's it. Fun.
One book or a movie that you love?
There is one movie which is, you know, the story of the Robin Hood thing that William Tell in all his avatars. I love that movie. There's one Freedom movie, or, you know, that's forgetting the name. You know, this guy, it's like William Tell only. Basically, I love this war movies, which are chivalry, and so there are a lot of, you know, war movies. Not for the sake of war, for the sake of what human can endure. And World War movies, they teach you about endurance and what human is capable of doing to each other. On one part, it educates how wrong you can be, right? On the other side, it educates how resilient you can be.
Right.
So, and it teaches you what you should not be, like what should not fog your mind, you know. Clarity of thought and perception should always be.
Perfect. One quote you live by?
There is one Shairi of Ghalib, you know.
Okay.
So I read a little bit of Faiz and Ghalib and all. So it goes like, you know, okay, you know, the meaning is like this. You know.
No, you can go ahead, quote the Shairi, okay. It's okay.
The meaning is like that all my life I kept on wiping the mirror, right? I was looking at myself. All my life I was wiping the mirror. But the darkness was not on the mirror, it was on me. Wow. So whenever what I feel is that whenever I say something bad or something negative, or I put the blame on someone else, I should give a look at myself. Maybe, for all I know, I am just wiping the mirror.
Correct.
Maybe the dust is on me, not the mirror.
Great, brilliant. It was lovely, Captain. Thank you so much for being here.
It's wonderful being with you.
It was wonderful. I enjoyed thoroughly. There were lots of insights. I think the people who are watching also would have embraced these insights. Thank you so much once again.
It's wonderful.
Lovely.
It's always nice to be here with you. Great.